Hi, Miss Wagner here. We are going to start in quest reading talking about a genre called myths and legends. So I want to create something for you. So would you close your eyes and just listen to these words for just a minute? Would you close your eyes and imagine that you are lying on top of a grassy hill? Imagine that you're looking at the night sky. The grass around you is soft and green. The air smells sweet like flowers and grass. There's a gentle breeze flowing through the grasses and whispers over top of your body. Look up. The sky is a deep black blue with thousands of pinpricks of light twinkling and sparkling. If you watch carefully enough, you might be lucky enough to see a shooting star across the night. Okay, open your eyes. I want you to think about how you were feeling in that, what picture you had in your head. Now I want you to think about if you were seeing that scene long, long ago, before there was science, before there was an explanation for what it was you were looking at or where you were, how did people know where those things came from? How did people think the stars got there? How did people think the trees got there? Well, we have things called creation stories or myths that help people explain and make sense of the world around them. So I'm going to share a quick one with you to give you an example. So you don't have to close your eyes for this. You can just listen. Okay? Once, before light and land existed, there was nothing but darkness and water. In the water lived all sorts of frightening creatures. Some creatures had wings, some creatures had 2 or more heads, other creatures looked like humans with legs, but horns like goats. Yet others had the top of a human and the bottom of a horse. The shape of the animals were all mixed up and kind of scary to see. To make matters even more fearsome, all of these creatures could shapeshift. Over this darkness ruled a queen named Thalassa and a king named Belus. One day the queen angered the king so much that he cut her in two. One part of her became the earth and the other part of her became the heavens. When the queen became the earth, the other part of her became the heavens. When the queen was cut in two, the creature of the water was also destroyed. They were broken apart and made into the shapes that we have today. Belus, seeing what had happened, divided the day and the night. He set the planets into orbits and ordered the stars and the moon to light the night. The sons and daughters of Thalassa and Belus were angered by the actions of the king. They came out and cut off the head of Belus. The head of Belus was held high over the land. Where his blood fell, men and women grew from the earth. This is a tale told by 2 ancient children of Babylonia to explain how the universe and the earth began. So can you imagine that? Can you imagine stories like that being how you understand the world or the earth around you? There is a genre, I've said it a couple times now, of myths and legends. And this was all about how people thought things came to be. And as time has gone on, we have learned a few things with science, but these stories are still kind of fun to read and think about. Kind of magical, kind of mythical, things that we don't see as possible every day. So your task as we get into these myths and legends is you are going to have one to read, and I want you thinking about, what does this story explain? So in the story that I just told you, it's kind of a way to explain why day and night are separated, and also how people came to be. So when you read your stories, I want you thinking about that. What does it explain? What does it help people understand a long, long time ago? And I also want you to think about who might be telling the story, like what culture or what kind of people or from what country or from what area might be telling the story. Like, is it a Native American story? Is it from ancient Greece? Where does the story come from? What's their culture?